Ghanaian chips is loved for its crunchiness, its savouriness, and all the other beautiful things that comes with it. Very similar to the Nigerian Chinchin, but this is savoury and super delicious. As part of our Christmas series, please stay tuned and let me show you how I put this together. So into a bowl, you add some all-purpose flour, some nutmeg, some sugar, which is optional but amplifies the taste. You also add some salt, baking powder, garlic and onion powder, and mix everything to combine. You also add your butter and mix everything with the tip of your fingers until you get it to be very flaky. Traditionally, I would have added some fresh onions and garlic instead. However, as time goes by, we always find ways to make our lives easier, and the garlic and onion powder works the same. So as soon as your dough comes together and it's looking very flaky and fluffy like gari, you're good to go. The next thing to do will be to add some cold water in bits to make your dough. Make sure that your dough is not too dry or too wet, okay? You need it in between just so you get the crispiest chips ever. If you make it too wet, it might not be as crispy, and if you make it too dry, it might not be as crispy as well. So the consistency you're looking for is exactly like this. Now we're going to roll our dough, so make sure to apply a lot of flour onto your work surface. Make sure it's clean enough before you mold it. This will prevent your dough from sticking onto your work surface, okay? So you mold it in a way of rolling it downwards and upwards and then sideways. You can also toss and turn your dough as you go. You don't want to roll it in a mashing manner, or else your dough will be stretchy and it will take away the crispiness of your chips or your chinchin if you're making chinchin. So please make sure to roll it exactly as demonstrated on your screen. Rolling is done and it's nice and stretchy. Once you go on and you realize that the size, there's too much spaces, or the size is not as consistent as you want it, you can cut the ends and just put it on top and roll it until you get a perfectly looking dough. And once it is done, cut off the size and begin to make your chips. I remember when we were younger, my mom, as a single mom, used to sell chips, and she would normally call us, the kids, to come together. By the way, this is the consistency you want it to be, the thickness, okay? So she would normally cut it for us and give us some scissors and cut it as exactly how I'm showing you on the screen, and it was such a delightful moment. Very, very nice. I enjoyed it a lot, and I loved helping my mom, so it was a win-win for me. So in a nutshell, you can always use your scissors to cut it, and you can get your nice looking chips, or you can use a knife. All you need to do is to make sure that the sizes are the same. It might not be exactly the same, but make sure it's close together, okay? So using your knife, cut from the top to the end, exactly as demonstrated on your screen. So if you do not have scissors, you can always use a knife. If you do not have a knife and you have a pizza cutter, you can also use that, which I'm going to show you in a second. Now, using my pizza cutter, which I love because I find that easier, just cut it from top to down, but make sure that the edges are straightened enough. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of the edges off and begin making my chips. So all you need to do is to run it down from the top to the bottom, exactly as demonstrated. You'll find that sometimes the lines may not be straight. Don't worry about it. Just try and make sure that you get it to be as consistent as possible. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. The name of the channel is Debzies Delight, and my name is Debbie. If you haven't subscribed yet, please be kind to hit on the subscribe button and the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be instantly notified. Thank you. So we are all done with making our lines. All we're going to do is to cut through it horizontally, depending on how long you want your chips to look when it's done. So it can be shorter or it can be longer. Now, to take it off your work surface and get it ready for frying, I'm going to use my pastry cutter because its ends is flat and smooth, and carefully pick it off the work surface onto my tray. I normally get everything done before frying it, so this is how I lay it on my tray, and it is time to fry it. Dip some skewers, and as soon as you see the bubbles form like so, your oil is hot enough. Toss in your chips gently, but don't overcrowd it or else it will not fry nicely and it might absorb the oil. Make sure that your heat is not too hot or else it will burn, and if it's too low it will absorb all the oil. So you can adjust your heat while you go on, just to make sure that it does not burn or sink in the oil. Using your colander spatula, separate it gently and stir it consistently to make sure that all the chips or the size is fried beautifully. And after frying, our chips is ready, looking beautiful, and oh, this was super delicious. The onion powder and garlic powder adds so much flavor, y'all. The sugar as well. Though you transfer it to a lined colander, make sure that you also, once it's cooled down a little bit, line a tray with enough tissues and spread your chips on it to absorb any excess oil, and you will be done. This chips was super delicious, very crunchy, and definitely a must try. If you do not know what to give as gift this Christmas, I am giving you a clue. You can always gift your friends and family with the chips. So normally I set the oil aside to make my stew. My mom, oh bless her, she used to use the asia, I don't know, the little particles under it for stew, and it was a hit. So I'm going to use it for my stew as well. And just look at that, you can gift it for your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to like, comment and share and subscribe. Bye for now.